ahead. Start.
This is the game rules for the new billiards game, None is Perfect. Invented and created by 2B1 Energy back on June 7th, 2010. The number of players can range from 1 to 4 per table when playing this game. When playing solo, no penalty for breaking up the balls. But remember, because of the number of players, it may take a longer time to actually complete any type of game. This would be great for special promotional prizes. Now, when played with 2 players heads up on the same table, it's very ideal. Any game must have a minimum of 4 rounds to be a completed scoring game. The equipment, standard to a professional pool table, corresponding pool's balls to include the cue ball. So 16 balls are used. We also utilize score sheets and or scoreboards, so therefore pens and pencils would be needed. Pregame ball position, placement. 1 ball each is placed 6 to 9 centimeters in front of each of the 6 pockets. And 1 ball each is placed in the center along the rail between each pocket. The green, black, and red solid balls are the 3 balls lined in the center of the pool table. How to play the game. Before each game, the table is preset and arranged before the first shot of any round. Play begins by placing the cue ball anywhere on the table for any shot, ball in hand. Points are determined with each player tallying their points for each shot made, missed, scratched, and or penalties for slot play. Player must make their objective ball in a specified pocket before any other ball drops without being penalized, called shots. Game players alternate shots with the exception of pro-level players who have a special type of rotation until all the balls are cleared. No purposeful jump shots are allowed. Player shall be disqualified if found to be guilty. The table does not reset for any penalty. Now, for a single player on a table, the player shoots all 15 balls for a total score without any penalties for breaking up the middle three. When it's heads up, 2 players shoot for all 15 balls. Alternate shots accordingly. 4 rounds must be played for completed scores. Points do not accrue from the prior game if in a single tournament. In league play, players are usually heads up when playing for the championship. After the final round, the player with the best score is the winner. Now, these rules are pretty much applied to the same thing for 3 players and 4 players. In league play, a player who is substituted during any round can no longer shoot any balls for the rest of a completed game. The substitute player must be listed as a team member. Scoring by round for amateurs. Player loses a point for every missed shot. This includes any bankrolled shots uncalled. Player loses a point shooting out of turn. Player loses a point for accidentally moving a ball with their pool stick, which is also known as a miss hit. Player loses 2 points for not hitting the objective ball. Player loses 2 points for any cue scratch on or off the table. Player loses a half point for any ball that slop drops without making the original objective ball first. Player loses 3 points for unsportsmanlike play, to be determined by the official judge. Scoring by round for pro-level players. In addition to the amateur rules, for the pros only, a player gains a point for any bank shot. Player gains 4 points for a double bank shot or a 2-rail kick shot. Player gains 8 points for any triple bank shot or a triple rail kick shot. Player loses a point for not having both feet planted for their completed shot. Player loses 1 1/4 point and their turn if 45 seconds passes without shooting objective ball. First player to break up the red, black, and green balls in the center is penalized 1/4 point. No bridges allowed for any game. The following roles are needed to complete a game. Scorekeeper calls out the scores when necessary during play. The official judge, who must be aware on which player is shooting to which pocket, that must be called unless it's obvious. The timekeeper keeps track of the time between players during the round. The table setter resets the table, concluding each round, preparing. Winners shall be determined upon the tally of all scores by the scorekeeper. For pro-level A and B players, games may use the 1, 2, 3 3 special rotation method of gameplay during a tournament and/or league play. These games will need an official judge, a scorekeeper, a table setter, and a timekeeper as positions to correctly determine the victors. Before each game, each player will have signed a talent release form to utilize their media liking, and they have signed the accident waiver release liability form to handle any unfortunate situations. This ensures any sponsor or investor of all liability claims when dealing with 2B1 Entertainment. The better player shall be known by way of points which can be listed in a newspaper or online. Archives will determine the player's quality, knowing their average score, and their level of play. There are tricky elements to the game. Each sponsor will be presented as a ball case scenario. Prizes can be won by the player if they make the ball case scenario shot. So many scenarios can be shown, ranging from the last ball made in a single round to 3 consecutive scores of 0 and above to win a grand prize. Therefore, the sponsor will be featured during that round, and if eliminated, the sponsor will need to renegotiate the financial terms with 2B1 Entertainment unless the sponsor is on a subscription. The goal is to exploit the sponsors through media at an affordable cost, branding their company for social recognition for the 21st century.